Hey everybody, Sean and Allison here from Spoken Garden.
Hi you guys, happy Tuesday. It's day 99.
99!
Cannot believe that.
So guys, if you don't know, we're the Quarantine Gardeners, and this is our daily video log of us accomplishing different projects around our garden while under quarantine.
Thank you guys so much for being here and for watching. And if you want to go ahead and subscribe down below, go ahead and click that button and then you won't miss any of our daily videos.
So guys, today we're out in our front yard and our Crocosmia is doing really good. It's nice and healthy. It's getting beautiful. It's starting to flower and it's really cool, but it's also flopping over and it's falling over onto our walkway and into our handrail of our front of our house, and we want to stake it up. So we wanted to show you how we're going to do that and how you can do it in your yard too.
Yeah, you might have tall flowers. We have other ones that we're going to need to stake later this summer. Plus, we don't want our flowers to fall over and break. Often the flowers are so top heavy that the stem could break, and we don't want that to happen.
No, we want to enjoy these for as long as we can.
So if you're not familiar with Crocosmia, or you just want to admire it like we do every day, this is what it looks like when it's in bloom. And it's just beautiful.
This is the usual time when it does bloom, right at or just before the beginning of summer.
You can see right here, guys, on this flower, it basically matures and the first flowers open at the base of the whole flower and has individual flowers that make up the whole inflorescence. And so the first flowers open at the base of the flower, and then it progressively over time moves up to the tip of the flower. And you can see these are the newest flowers developing. They're not far along enough yet to open up, but they will be as the weeks pass by.
Hummingbirds love it, and they've started flocking to this, so that's super fun.
Ever since we planted these here, you guys, we've had a lot of hummingbird activity. But before that, they never visited the front of the house because we never had anything up here that they wanted to feed off of.
So the problem is, you guys, these get really top heavy, like we said.
Yep.
Normally, I mean, they're over 6 feet tall.
See, if we could, guys, we'd like to have it about here, so it's nice front and center. It looks like it's standing up pretty straight, but if we let this go, it just comes straight back down and it'll hang over this rail for the rest of the time that it's flowering. And when people come to our house, they'll basically have to brush up against this or go around it. We don't want that to happen, and we don't want this to get damaged or it to snap or get bent right here. It'll crimp it right here and it'll actually hurt this flower.
Okay, so we need to get our supplies ready. So what do we have here, Sean?
So today we've got 5 foot long stakes. We've got 5 of them. So the plan today, guys, is to take these 5 foot stakes, pound them in the ground about a foot down and a foot away from the plants themselves, and then tie off a stem to this stake. Now, since we only got 5 of these stakes and we've got more stems out here than stakes, we're gonna be using one stake for a couple different stems, for a couple different long flower stems. So we're gonna show you how to do that. We got our rubber mallet. You're gonna need that to pound the stakes in. Don't use a metal mallet or a metal hammer, because if you do, you'll bend these metal stakes. And then we've got twine that we're gonna use to tie the stems to the stakes with. And guys, if you don't have this twine, you can also use green twist ties that you can buy at the garden store or even at Walmart or some other store, especially if you don't wanna see this in your garden as these are staked throughout the rest of the year.
I mean, that's the only thing that I don't like about it. I love that the stakes are green, so that's awesome because those actually blend in with the stems. I don't love that we're gonna use this because this will show, like Sean said, but you know what? That's what we have right now, and that's okay.
Yep, and we're still under quarantine, guys, as you know. So we're gonna do the best we can. So guys, we're gonna take our first stake and we're gonna go after this first stem that we were showing you that's coming across the rail. We wanna place this stake about a foot away from the corm or the bulb so we don't damage any of the root structure or the underground plant parts. So as you can see though here, it's really dense. It's really planted densely, so we're gonna try and do our best to stay away from things, but it's gonna be a little tricky. So maybe I think I'll place this one right about here.
And in case you've never used these stakes before, there is an actual pointy end, and that's the point that obviously goes into the ground.
So guys, I'm gonna take my rubber mallet, and I'm gonna just tap this down. We're gonna try and go a foot in the ground, so that's gonna be down about here. Since we're not measuring anything, we haven't marked these stakes, which you can do if you want to before you pound them into the ground, measure from the bottom up a foot, and then once you reach that point, you'll have a marking. You can mark it at that foot level, and then once that reaches down in as you're pounding it, you know to stop. We're gonna pound these down in the ground about a foot, and that's about right here on me, if you can see that. So that's where we're going to with the top of this stake. Okay, here we go, guys. A little bit more. Oh, might have hit some hard pan. Might have hit a rock. We've got a lot of those around here. That's pretty close to where we want it. So now we need our twine. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my knife. I'm gonna cut a length of twine. We're gonna need probably about at least 8 inches one way, so 16 inches. We'll need a little bit of slack to tie the twine with. So maybe about 24 inches. We can always cut more off if we need to after we've tied it. Again, use your own measurements, but you know, for me, I just guesstimate. I'm gonna take our twine, I'm gonna get the ends, one in each hand, and then I'm gonna loop this end around underneath to then get a hold of the stem to bring it up. When I do that, I'm gonna try and get it on the stem, not on the leaves. I wanna keep the leaves alone. I wanna leave those alone. Otherwise, we can crimp the leaves and damage the plant over time.
Hear that, everybody? Leave the leaves alone.
Nah, no pun intended. Okay, here we go. So bringing it around, finding that stem, gonna bring this up, get that just like that. Now we're bringing her up. And what you do is, this is all by feel, everybody. So what you do is just bring it up, kind of look at the stem, how high it is. Is that where we kind of want it? I think that is. I think that's where we kind of want it. Maybe a little bit right there. Okay, if you look, we don't want this bloom to interfere with this bloom, and so that might be a problem later on. So we got to keep that in mind. With that, let's tie it off. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna loop it like I'm tying my shoelaces. And the reason I'm doing this is because I might need to come back and readjust this. And I don't want to have to use new twine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that bowed, and then that'll keep that up. And I can always come back and readjust it if need be. What do you think, honey?
I don't love the twine because you can see it, but I'm happy that it'll be safe for the plant because we don't want to lose a bloom. So looks good.
All right. So guys, that's basically how you do this. If you want to tie off completely that twine and not do the bow and not have it adjustable later, it's completely up to you. It's just something we like to do to have options to come back and readjust if need be. So with that, we're going to jump into it, get the rest of these tied off, staked up, and that'll be that.
So that was an example of how to stake your tall flowers. And later this summer, we're going to need to stake our liatris, probably our dahlias, and probably our sunflowers. Oh, yeah. So we will follow that same method.
And with that, go ahead and leave us any of your comments or questions down below. We love hearing from you. Give us that thumbs up, let us know we're doing a good job, and subscribe to our channel so you get updates on our latest videos.
And thank you for watching today. We really hope that was helpful, and we'll be back tomorrow with another new project. So have a great day ahead, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.